What can you even do with 4 watts of power? Let's find out. Alright, so today we are talking about the Vox AC4. Now, I am a big fan of Vox amplifiers, especially the JMI stuff from back in the day. But this is a modern AC4. So, real quick, I just want to go over the controls. So we have a gain, we have a bass, we have a treble, and we have a master volume. Now, this is a really good master volume. It stays pretty consistent. I mean, you have a 12-inch speaker. There's a point where if you stop putting any kind of power into it, you're going to lose some stuff. But generally speaking, as far as... Oh, it's a 12-inch speaker, by the way, in that. And it's a custom voice speaker for Vox. I do not recommend changing the speaker. Here's why. This speaker is voiced to this diminutive cabinet. It's going to be a little boxy, but this speaker does a really good job of kind of mitigating that as much as possible. And I actually think, compared to like Fender Champs and other amps this size, does a pretty good job. Of course, this is going to be competitive with things like the Delta King from Supro. This is a single-ended EL84. But this sounds like a Vox. It definitely has the Vox flavor. The bass and treble controls are really useful. So for the purposes of this, I have them set on noon, so you can kind of get a reference of what the amp sounds like at noon. I'm pushing the power amp a little bit more. I have that like 1 o'clock. I feel like that's kind of the optimal setting for that, where we're moving the speaker, but it's not punishing me in my studio. You can get it to bedroom levels. It's okay. I don't know that I like any amp at quote-unquote bedroom levels. I have not heard an amp ever that I've liked at bedroom levels, unless it's digital and you got headphones. For smaller rooms and smaller gigs, man, this is a great amp. If you want the Vox thing. And they're affordable. I bought this used for $250. They're a little bit more new. I'll put the price up here. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, what they are new. They're very affordable tube amps. It's one of the cheaper tube amps to get into. It sounds very close to the, it gets the Vox flavor. Takes pedals great. Takes pedals amazingly. Like I said, it's all tube, solid state rectified. I got the Telly. This is the Mexican Telly with the Greg Koch pickups. The other thing is there is a speaker out. So if you wanted to run this into larger cabinets, which definitely if you wanted to get the most tonally out of this amp, that's the best way. There's no effects loop, so everything you're running pedal-wise, you're running into the front. And so if you want to do pedals, you're going to have to keep it clean, or relative, kind of clean edge of breakup, which is where this sounds great. And running reverb pedals is fine through it. We're going to go through some sound samples. Let's do that now. And I'm going to run the Walrus Audio Slotva through this, so that's a kind of an ambient reverb. So let's hear the amp clean. I'm on the neck pickup. Bridge pickup. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. Now the Slaffa. Oh, I love that pedal. Love that sound. But there, we pushed. It's kind of edge of breakup, so we're pushing some of that amp gain, even with the reverb. I think it sounds just fine. So this is kind of like you say, well, you have with those edge of breakup amps, like maybe an effects loop isn't needed. I like having them, especially in some of the amps in my studio that I'm going to run higher gain, but this is a good like example of where you may not need an effects loop. Okay, now I'm going to push the gain, the preamp gain, so we're kind of clean-ish. We're pretty darn clean, and so when I was digging into it, we were getting some breakup. But now I'm going to push the preamp, and then we'll engage the reverb just to see. All right, and just to reiterate, we went from about 11 o'clock to now about 2 o'clock on the gain. You can hear just... All right, reverb off. I mean, the sustain on this amp, I had to mute that thing to keep this thing efficient. This setting at about 2 o'clock, I think, is where you get kind of the most out of this amp. All right, I'm going to turn the gain back down to like about 11, which is where that's kind of the ceiling of your clean tone, and we're going to throw the Prince of Tone at it and see how it deals with the drive pedal. All right, here's the clean. Let's kick in the King of Tone. I got the drive. It's in the overdrive setting. I got the volume at about 11 o'clock and the drive at about 3. Tone is at noon, so it's going to be pretty flat going in. Kind of rolls some of that top end off. go to the neck. Yeah, so the pedal's rolling off some high end. So let me add a little bit more high end back into the Prince of Tone. Alright, so in conclusion, I definitely recommend the AC4 if you're going for the Vox thing and you want a small tube amp that's lightweight and easy to carry around. Will this get over a drummer? You crank the master volume, this thing gets pretty loud. Will this get over a drummer? Well, it depends on how loud the drummer is drumming. I would definitely mic this amp up if I had that on stage, but I would certainly take this on stage with a pedal board. And as a matter of fact, I have taken this on stage with a pedal board and rocked it. And it's not going to break your back, and it's not going to break the bank. Great amp. Great amp. Simple amp. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, hit like, subscribe, all the YouTube things, ring the bell. And remember, it's always about the song. Peace.